was best in doing a first certified audit. But what I'm hearing is we're just doing more of the same that we've done in the past. By not, we've got some very serious questions in this HOA that have been raised. First of all,
Question by who? By you?
Yeah, by me.
By you, by one person,
No,
maybe
no,
two, three.
Let's
Okay.
have one at a time.
Can we, what are some of the questions that are going to
Yeah.
First of all, are we in compliance with the SERA guidelines?
But this
Okay.
auditor is SEER certified, correct?
Well,
Okay,
here's
so
the
we don't
thing.
answer that.
The ones that were submitted by the head honcho who ran the SERA office in the state of Florida down here had recommended 3 auditors, nothing to himself, but he said that these guys are really good guys in the kind of caliber that we would need since we never really had a full-on certified audit before. So normally, as far as I'm concerned, if I want something done, I try to go to the best. I'm not going to a friend of a friend. I try to go to the best in the industry. Okay, that's what I want for this HOA. I'm not looking for the guy down the street who knows somebody who has 1 or 2 people in their office. I want to go to the top of the line. Not only do we have questions on the SERA, we've got questions on filing sales tax returns. We've got some people who say we don't. I've gotten information from the top in the field giving us a whole different code section that we are required to file these sales tax returns. Okay, finance committee saying no, we don't. The information I'm getting is yes, we do. I gotta tell you, I know federal statute. I don't know state statute. But I want somebody more qualified than me, and not just a friend of a friend, who has this information, who has access to this information, that's gonna give me the right information. Not just because somebody wants to just get it done. And that's the due diligence that the audit committee has been exercising. We're not interested in repeating anything that's been done in the past that does not do full and complete disclosure. The fact that our management company is entirely responsible, not only for the management of our properties, but for 100% of our finances, that needs to be looked at.
I understand that your concerns, and I think they're valid concerns that need to be looked at. I want to try to keep us on our schedule.
Okay.
Is there anybody else that has questions of Jose as the finance chair? Yes, John.
If I recall right, the comment last audit we had is I don't call it an audit because there was a comment made by the auditor that was saying that as per what we've been said, this is what we wrote. A real audit is not what's been said to you, it's what they found. It's not what you want to hear, but what it is. So I don't consider that a real audit. No. I had companies been audited for 40 years, and then I always had large firm who were doing it because there was a lot of expertise, different professionals with different knowledge, and when one of them didn't know the answer, the other one didn't know who to refer to get the answer. And the fact that they never send the same people twice is not true, because when you start with someone, they're going to be 1 or 2 person assigned, and they will do the job all the way to the end. So I don't see any problem with a large firm when why should we not take advantage of a firm that has all the expertise for the same price as the one that has no expertise, very small expertise.
Is there anything, Jose, I have a question. Is there anything that would prevent the large firm, the Proctor firm, from mobilizing as quickly as the Parks firm that's being recommended?
I think it would be the same.
It would be.
I'm sorry.
I got one last question and I'll let you.
No, I guess I didn't, what was your question?
He said it would be the same. They would be able to move just as quickly as a small firm.
Well, there's
So-
more to that.
Well, can we ask one last question about the large firm? With respect to the large firm, the Proctor firm, gosh, I just lost my train of thought now.
Okay, then I'm going to ask my question.
That's why we got Robert Rules of Order, you know. Go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, it was also my understanding what Proctor had told us is because we're so late in the game, and they're really booked. Okay, what they had told us is they will prepare the return, okay, and do the audit later and give us a 20% discount off their fees. Did they not express it? Well, you didn't. Did you call them? Did you call these people? Or you just looked at the proposal? I'm sorry?
We communicated with them.
Did they also tell you about the 20% discount?
About what?
The 20% discount on doing the audit? Well,
Yeah, I just remember my question. Sorry to interrupt, but I want to move quickly on this because I see some movement on this issue. Jose, can you tell me, what were the weaknesses of the Proctor firm?
There was no weaknesses, like I said, it was the same engagement letter, the same letter. We selected this small company because based on the history, we wanted to have someone that we can always talk to, same other coming in. So we don't have to, if we have a new person, we don't have to explain them again. The property management company doesn't have to waste their time going all over again, explaining their procedures and explaining their operations. So that's why we decided to go for a small firm. That's going to be just one or two individuals involved in that audit.
Last question I have actually to KS. KS, the firms that you were looking at from the audit committee standpoint that your committee was evaluating, was Parks one of the firms?
no, absolutely no.
Was Proctor one
Yes.
of the firms?
Yeah.
The other mid-sized firm that we're not sure about, was that one of the firms that you were looking at?
We were looking at Strum and Proctor. And I had one around
One of
one.
those,
The Strum, the other mid-sized?
Proctor is the one that I think the audit committee said it was.
Okay.
The other one, I forget the name. I don't know, that was my head.
Okay, so I think it's two of them, right? You got two of them?
There were three of them that we,
No, the audit committee said over two.
no, you said only one.
I sent it 3 times to you on Strum.
There were
Would be
two,
one. I think
two people sent over or maybe one person. Okay.
No, it was 2.
Okay, so, is there anybody else that has any questions of, Jose? For his report?
I just want to make a comment about the budget last year. Last year we had a budget of $3,000. I believe we went to 8. Did we go to 8 for 2015? 8. Yeah, so we increased the budget to have a firm that would give a better critical evaluation. Yeah, you know, I mean, a $7,500 to pay for an audit and, you know, do the tax return, you know, they're gonna do a pretty good job. You know, I could understand, you know, wanting some smaller firms so you can have more personalized service. Just like now. Right now, we went from Bristol Management. We have a little more personalized service. Now it transitioned into a big company. You know, you try to call them or you try to talk to Vice President of Operations and do we get results? Not very much because they're dealing with so many people. So I can understand trying to find a company more personalized, smaller, somebody you know when you call up, you're not, you know, talking to filters of people. That's the only thing. We've had experience with that and it's just better when you have somebody that's just as professional. You can call and that person answers and you're not going with a lot of filtering. You know, so I can see the reason why.
Any other comments or, I appreciate
And
it.
the last comment is next year we can go for the larger firm, you know, so we can have taste of,
Yeah.
Is there any need to have continuity in firms like this?
Not really. You're giving them, you know, all the same, you know, yeah, the same
So there wouldn't be
information.
any value to having continuity, like if,
You know,
if
it
I were to
does.
take a motion now to hire Proctor, for example, which I'm leaning toward doing.
It's a big
because I
company, you
really
know.
feel like honestly that this board needs to have somebody that everybody would have confidence in. If the audit committee is looking at Proctor and thinks Proctor would be helpful, it seems to me that there is a significant crossover, both with finding issues and diffusing issues that may potentially exist. So, if there's no further comment, I'm going to make a motion. Any further comments or
I'll
questions?
make a quick comment.
Yeah, Eric, yes.
I would just say very briefly, just to piggyback off of what you just said, whatever company we choose this time, if we're happy with the results, it'd be, in my opinion, not the brightest move to keep switching companies. So whatever company we pick this time, if we like the results, why on earth we should use it next year, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to make a motion that the, Mike.
The audit committee, because you guys recommended 2 companies to the finance committee, is that correct?
Yes,
So the audit committee is 100% comfortable with Proctor,
absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
What, no, I'm just wondering,
It's a good question, because again, we don't want to have to deal with.
No,
permanent
I think
issues.
they have the skills, knowledge, and ability to address any of the issues that have been raised.
they were recommended by the SEER guru that you talked to? Is that
Absolutely.
correct?
They were number one on the list.
Where are they out of?
Jupiter, I believe, they're still.
Okay. I just remember seeing,
I did send the board a copy of their engagement letter.
That's why I was,
And I sent both engagement letters that I received, one from Strum and one from them. They appear to be more to like them.
So I'm gonna make a motion, and based on the fact that, that I think the board is looking to have some comfort, looking forward and looking backward, and based on the fact that the $7,500 cost not to exceed, is within the budget that's been set aside for 2015 for the audit, I'm gonna make a motion that the board, authorize, I guess it would be authorizing the finance committee chair, Jose Cabrera, to sign an engagement letter with Proctor Crowder, to do the 2014, annual tax audit and tax corporate compliance work, cost not to exceed $75. Do I second the motion?
I second. As long as I'm
Any discussion?
liaison.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, and I'd like to be a liaison in that audit to ensure that oversight provided simply works and just to make sure that, things are moved along.
Well, obviously the two committees have to work together,
Okay.
and that's a big deal.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure that that's included because the way things have been coming from the finance committee,
That was a direction already. I mean,
just to make sure, I just want to confirm,
correct.
because the emails I've been getting have been making sure that everything we do is excluded.
I understand.
Okay, good.
Any other comments? Any discussion on the question from the rest of the days? Any? Yes.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that since Jose is the head of the finance, that he's primary as far as dealing with.
Yes, for this particular engagement, the answer is yes. That's part of my motion. It's being headed up by the finance committee.
Okay.
Okay. 2014 audit.
And where
Or
does the
tax and
audit,
tax compliance.
okay, and where does the audit committee come into
The audit
participating
committee-
in this audit?
The audit committee is participating with the finance committee, but the finance committee is signing the engagement letter and
Yeah.
running the engagement.
Absolutely.
Okay. Any questions from the audience? God bless you. Okay. Dawn, yes.
I just have one. I think, just to clarify real quickly, and I know you're out of time frame, all three firms were very reputable firms. They were not friends of a friend, so I really think that was disrespectful, Megan, to say that to the committee chair. It was not that at all. These are firms that we did due diligence on. I Googled all the firms. All of them are very reputable. We discussed it. Everybody had lengthy conversations. And the reason why, as he said, that it was the parks firm was selected is because we felt that they would give us more detailed service and that, again, it doesn't matter, like I said, I would be happy with any of them, but the reason was because we felt that we wanted somebody to come in with a fine tooth comb and really go through. We felt that they had the expertise, they all had expertise, so again, it's not the point, it's just that we felt that it would be proper sampling, and I like the fact that they said they would come back and let us know where improvements can be made within bookkeeping or et cetera. So they just seemed like they were more friendly to our service, that's all. So again, it wasn't a friend of a friend, these were all very reputable, we worked hard. I went through this with the landscape committee last year, so it kind of was disheartening to hear this when they say that, you didn't do your due diligence. We did our due diligence, so I just want to put that out there.
And I would commend Jose and this committee for coming to the floor with this recommendation. I stand on the motion. I think the motion is well-founded based on what's discussed here. So no further discussion, close discussion from the floor. Let me call the question. All those in favor?
you need to ask WebEx if they have any comment?
Well, yeah, I should. Is there anybody on WebEx? Thank you for reminding me. Anybody on WebEx at all? No participants by WebEx. Jason.
Nobody signed in?
Okay. So call the question at this point. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Motion carries unanimously.
So,
Dr. Crabtree, yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your comment. Okay, move to the second point. Approval of penalty schedule for code of conduct violations. Okay, the last time, we're gonna move really quickly through this because we had a lot of discussion on this last time. The issue that was brought up in the last meeting was we wanted to talk about what kind of penalties were gonna be put forward by, the decider, whether that's the hearing committee or the board, for code of conduct violations. And, quick recap, and then I want to make sure we don't have any further discussion on it. I want to exhaust the discussion, and I want somebody, if they're so kind, to make a motion. Otherwise, I'll do it. I have Francine and Bob, we're talking about 30 days for the first code of conduct violation, 90 days for, and again, these are no committee or board participation by any member of a committee or board that violates the code of conduct. The first violation is 30 days. Second violation is 90 days. If there's a third violation, they're removed. Then there were me, Mike, and Jocks who spoke up, said 90 days for the first violation and removal on second violation. As I mentioned before, I really wanted to enforce and have zero tolerance on this code of conduct because it needs to be serious. I see way too many emails. I see a lot of chatter going on. I see a lot of stuff that really doesn't need to be had by committee members that are learning information in committees and people that are on this board that are spending a lot of time on emails. And we have First Amendment rights, but we also have duties that we need to make sure that we're doing board business in these meetings on the board and not talking about things that are personal outside the context of these meetings. So having said that, I want to make sure that everybody understands what the earlier discussion was. I covered it. Is there any further discussion about first, second violations? Anybody have anything else to add?
Removal was for 1 year, correct?
Removal was 1 year, yes. Any other discussion?
I have a question. I thought we tabled this so that we could find out and get advice from counsel.
We did, and the other part of it is the next issue, which is who's going to handle the code of conduct violation. But that's what I went to legal counsel. Any other comments? Eric, do you have anything? Okay, let me real quickly take any comments from the floor on this. Any questions from the floor? No? Okay. So at this point, I'm going to make a motion that we enact a penalty schedule for violations of the code of conduct by any committee or board member, frankly, anybody that signs the code of conduct, past or present, that we're looking at 90 days for the first violation, and we're looking at removal for the second violation. Do I have a second for the motion?
Second.
Okay. We've already covered discussion, but is there anything else to add based on the motion? Okay, I'm going to call the question. Nobody on WebEx? There is one person on WebEx. Oh, that's you. Great. Excellent. Okay. Thanks for joining. So all those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. All those opposed?
I'm opposed.
Okay. So noted this one dissent by one.
Just to clarify, what do we
So-
just agree, it's 90 days?
90 days for the first code of conduct violation. No participation in a committee or board member or board meetings. And removal on the second code of conduct violation. Now, the next issue, and this is where I did consult with legal counsel, the question becomes, who is going to handle the code of conduct evaluation? And without going into a lot of privileged communications, the bottom line is that the concern is that the board should not be taking action because if there's a member of the board that is charged with a code of conduct violation, it becomes an issue for other board members. And there's conflicts that are going to arise. So based on that, just like you do with fines and violations under 720, we're authorized as the board to delegate this obligation to handle these violations to the hearing committee. And so I'm going to make a motion and then we'll have a discussion afterward like typically we're supposed to do with Robert Rules of Order. I'm going to make a motion that we approve the delegation of the handling of the code of conduct violations and complaints to the hearing committee based on the penalty schedule that we just passed, and I would also add one other thing to the motion. I would ask that the chairperson of the hearing committee performs what I would call almost like a probable cause evaluation that says,